Welcome to Talking Hoosier Baseball for Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. I am Carl James. I, along with Michael James, managed to catch up with first baseman Brock Tibbitts and outfielder Carter Mathison following their all Big Ten freshman team honors here in Omaha, Nebraska. We were able to catch up with them thanks to the rain delay at the Big Ten tournament. They will be getting underway very hopefully tomorrow, Thursday, but we did get a chance to sit down with them, and here is our interview. Congrats to both of you on making the Big Ten all-freshman team.
Thank you.
So just kind of each of you tell me what it's like to get that kind of a recognition.
I mean, it's just kind of goes along like as a team award. I mean, it's all just kind of working towards that goal, getting here to Omaha and making the Big Ten tournament, and then just kind of doing your part along the way to help the team get to that spot, and I guess receiving a little bit of recognition for your role in helping the team win. So
yeah, I think it's cool to just be recognized for a lot of hard work, just seeing the hard work pay off.
You've both had a chance now to work out at Charles Schwab Field. What were your initial feelings about being here in Omaha?
We actually haven't been able to go to the field yet.
You haven't?
Just the pitchers went to throw, but we've been working out at some local indoor facility, but we haven't been to the actual field yet.
Well, it's now been 4 days of your road trip without playing a game. How are you passing the time?
I mean, it's a lot of just kind of finding random stuff to do. I mean, it helps when parents come into town so you can spend more time with family than you usually are able to on road trips. So that's been kind of nice. And then just kind of spending time with teammates, even though we've been around each other for weeks straight, bus rides and in the hotel and meals and everything. And so it's just kind of getting closer with teammates again and just kind of seeing who everyone really is.
It's going downtown is cool. They got a really nice downtown, the marketplace or whatever the market thing is down here. It's cool to explore. So going down there, looking at the restaurants, and then I've heard there's a pretty nice zoo here. So I know some guys went there today. But yeah, just finding things to do to entertain ourselves.
Well, beyond just being freshmen, you both had essentially a full year of development erased in high school due to COVID-19. How did you develop as players in that year, given the circumstances?
Yeah, I think honestly we kind of lucked out with our timing when COVID happened and hit, because we weren't seniors, so we didn't miss our last year of high school, but we also weren't freshmen in college who missed our first year in college. It was kind of right in the middle, but I'd say just the only thing, because I think we had summer ball that summer, right?
Yeah, we did.
So I think the only thing we really missed out on was the high school season, which sucked, but once again we got another year after that to play for our senior year, which ultimately I think would have been more important than our junior year.
I think that year kind of helped a lot of guys figure out, like, kind of getting in the weight room and kind of figuring out their bodies and being able to add that strength on, because a lot of guys who play baseball will then play in the fall or they'll play other sports and never really get like almost an off season to just really focus on the weight room and focus on getting stronger. So I think that was the biggest thing that happened in that time period, which kind of helped us leading into our senior years and then into this year, just kind of getting ahead on that.
Okay. All right, Brock, you've been a solid player defensively at first base all season. Though you didn't really have a ton of experience at that position before this season, how did you take to it so quickly?
I mean, I got a lot of help from Kip and Jake Skrine, who were first basemen as well. They really took me under their wing and taught me a lot. Worked with Coach Mercer and Coach Simmons a lot, and was able to just pick up on their coaching really quickly and be able to implement it quickly. And I think I was able to take a lot of kind of tips from catching as well, just kind of how my body moves and how I'm able to get in front of the ball and be able to position myself better for each play. So I was just able to use all those things take in a lot of information and just learn really quickly and implement it really quickly.
Carter, as Austin Render has reminded us on the radio a few times, you've hit more home runs as a Power 5 Division I freshman than you did in your high school senior season when you were named Indiana Mr. Baseball. How is that possible?
I guess just more games being played, more opportunities.
But you know, you've done it more than anybody else in Indiana history. So.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
As freshman, yeah. Brock, Tyler Dones has been next to you in the infield most of the season. How has he and the experience he have helped you and the other freshman infielders?
A lot. Him and Phillip, because Phillip's helped out Josh a lot on the left side of the infield. Their experience, they came in as veterans and have each played, I don't even know how many games, a lot more than me and Josh have, obviously. And just kind of their knowledge of the game and their knowledge of college baseball have really helped us to be able to kind of get in like different positionings, like different than kind of how we would in high school, just with how college baseball is different than high school baseball, and just kind of helped us out with all those little details that you can't really practice too well and that are just kind of in-game, like reactionary type situations. And their leadership and kind of being mentors to us has helped out a lot to be able to grow as freshmen.
Okay, Carter, I'm going to ask you about a specific at-bat a while ago, so just bear with me for a moment.
Okay.
And the reason I'm asking is because it was in a road game that we weren't there for, and we didn't get a chance to ask you about it. So this is Indiana State.
Okay.
You had a 2-out pinch hit, 3-run home run that tied the game in the top of the 9th. Can you just walk us through what you remember about that particular at-bat?
Yeah, so I had that day off, and then got closer to the end of the game, and Merce kind of came over to me. He's like, "Be ready to hit. We might pinch hit you if needed." And it ended up coming. The opportunity came, and I kind of just went up there, and my mindset was just, this ball's going forward. I'm going to hit this ball, whatever happens, happens, because I specifically remember that Sunday we were down by 1 against Purdue, the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs, and I was up, and I struck out. So that was obviously in the back of my mind that that was not going to happen again for the second game in a row. And I wanted to get deep in the count, and that happened. I ended up getting 3-2, and I kind of just put my feet in the ground. I was like, I'm swinging at anything close, and thankfully I got a good bat on the ball.
So I guess this one will go to both of you. As freshmen, who have you learned the most from as far as the upperclassmen goes?
I'd say for me, in the case, because I'm an outfielder, so I'd say I've learned a lot this year from Bobby and Hunter. They've kind of taken me under their wing, even Morgan Colopy as well. Just working with them all throughout the fall because of our positioning, and then Hunter being lefty as well. Just they've kind of taken me under their wing and taught me a lot. And then also Matthew Ellis, both being left-handed hitters and being a great hitter as well. All those guys have really taken me under their wing and taught me a lot.
For me, I'd say defensively I learned the most from Kip and Jake, just from them having experience at first base and, again, as he said, taking me under their wing and teaching me all that they know. And with it being a new position for me, they really taught me a lot and kind of gave me a lot of good advice for going over to a new spot. And then in general, I've learned a lot from Bobby on the offensive side and just with the game in general, because he's just a great competitor and he's a great leader, and he's been a great mentor to all the young guys, and he's just been a great leader for the team. So I think learned a lot from him too.
So I guess this one's will go for either one of you. Do any of you have, at this point, now that you've got a full season under your belt, if you know another incoming D1 player, what would be your biggest piece of advice that you've now picked up in your year?
I would say listen to the upperclassmen and be okay with failing. Because when you get on campus, you're not going to realize, coming out of high school, if you're going Division I, you're usually one of the better players, and you're quickly going to realize, like, okay, I'm one of 40. Like, all these guys are same talent, maybe even better, maybe even a little worse. So I'd say just taking all advice you get from upperclassmen coaches and just applying it, and then being okay with failing and learning from those failures.
I'd say the same thing, to embrace failure and embrace coaching, because you're going to fail, and then coaches and, like he said, upperclassmen are going to be there to be your support system. So embrace all the information that you get early and be able to use your failure to learn from and grow from there.
Do you rely on any analytic data when it comes to preparing for a certain team or pitcher?
Do you mean like our personal analytic data, or like
observing
the pitchers?
The kind of more of the scouting piece of it.
Oh, yeah. Not as much like spin rates type, unless if a guy has like a high spin rate breaking ball. That's about, we'll usually kind of throw that into a scouting report just so that we know that it's going to be a tighter break and it's going to break more. Other than that, it's more just kind of work like with velocities, and then sometimes pitch shape and how it will move compared to others, because some guys will have maybe some pitches that move a different way. A fastball that'll stay on plane a little more than other guys. Some guys will have just different movements, and so it's just kind of getting that information so that we know going into a game how guys' pitches will be able to move and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not too big on the data stuff. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention, but when it comes to like a scouting report, I like to see video just to see like the movements of the pitches, and then maybe like another thing is what pitches they like the most. So like percentage wise, what they throw, like fastball, what the percentage is that they throw a fastball compared to a changeup, and just stuff like that.
Well, now that school's wrapped up, can you just talk a little bit about how the transition to kind of focusing exclusively on baseball has been like?
I mean, honestly, we haven't really been on campus too much since school's been out. So we got out of school and then kind of went right into a series, and then we had about a week and went right into this trip out here. So, I mean, it's just kind of been balancing time between baseball and kind of getting away from baseball as well, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself with only baseball now, and then just kind of have time to be able to kind of mentally separate yourself from the game. So it's just been kind of nice not having to worry about schoolwork, but it's been kind of relaxing being able not to.
Yeah, after school got out, it was just a lot more relaxed. We actually got a lot more off time to, like you said, get away from baseball, especially with the nice weather, get out and enjoy the weather. So it was a big weight off our shoulders.
Brock, you did sort of run into a little bit of a midseason hitting slump. We've seen over the years many freshmen kind of hit into that slump, and then it just kind of becomes a permanent thing. But you managed to get out of it. So can you kind of walk us through what that was like? What you did to kind of get out of that?
I was trying not to really just kind of keep my mind off the numbers and just kind of stay away from batting average, because I started off the season hitting pretty well and just knew it was inevitable that it was going to balance itself out, because, I mean, baseball is a game of highs and lows, and they're all just it's going to level out at some point. And so it's just sticking to what I knew that I could do and just trying to go up there with the same approach every time, just stick to my approach and just keep putting the bat on the ball, and some will fall, some will get caught, sometimes one more than often the others, but just kind of sticking to what I do.
So I guess this is one for both of you. Just do you have like a favorite, whether it's team related, be there on or off the field moment that you might want to share?
Ooh.
walk-off was cool. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To celebrate on the field.
Yeah.
Nothing really sparks my mind right off the top.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a really fun year. There's been a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and I think we've all just had a lot of fun with one another. I can't really think of anything too particular, but it's just been a really fun year.
So it's interesting. Coach, talked a little bit has talked often about how the difficult non-con schedule that started in February worked to prepare you guys for what you're going to be facing, with a team like Maryland here in the Big Ten tournament. So can you kind of walk through what your initial experience was like in those first few weeks and how that's helped you up till now?
Yeah, I mean, opening up at Clemson in front of 5,000-6,000 fans was, we had 3-4 freshmen starting on the field, and almost everybody on the field hadn't played in that environment just with COVID last year, or no fans last year in the Big Ten, and then season getting cut short the year before, and nobody had really played in that environment, and it was great to get thrown into that environment. It was a lot of fun, and then also gave us that great experience, and then going and playing Stanford, Arkansas, going on the road to all these other top programs, and it was just great to get to kind of experience failure, but then now we're kind of realizing that it really prepared us for now, and realizing that we can compete with a lot of great teams.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun getting out on the road, getting down south, playing, some of the best teams in the country, playing in some of the best atmospheres in the country. Right off the rip, we played Clemson with a sold-out stadium, which was awesome to play in and just learn from. So I think the difficult non-conference schedule has taught us a lot, has improved us a lot. For these moments, just getting out, playing the best competition we possibly can.
And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you guys have your summer plans laid out, what you guys are going to be doing?
As of now, I'm going to the New England League to play for the Keene Swamp Bats.
I will not be actually playing summer ball. I'll be on campus just working on getting stronger and gaining weight for next year.
That will do it for this edition of Talking Hoosier Baseball. IUBase.com will have detailed coverage of the Big Ten tournament from Omaha, Nebraska. So just pay attention to the website and our various social medias. We will see you at the BART.